I went back to the rabbis. I went back to the rabbis. They used to come to my office, and I asked them a question. I asked them a frank question. I told them, listen, I was married to a non-Jew. I was violating Shabbat. I was an honest guy as far as business. I was very generous. I gave more tzedakah than anybody else that I knew, at least. I gave a no. I didn't do anything illegal. I was very honest as far as that's concerned. I even donated a Sefer Torah. I had a Sefer Torah written in Eretz Yisrael, $65,000. Voila, I went to the Bet Knesset. Why didn't you tell me the truth? Why didn't you tell me the truth? It's like, no, we figured that eventually you're going to do tshuva. So now, here's the problem. Everyone's question is answered the same way. They said, eventually you're going to do tshuva. Now, how did you know I was going to live to see eventually? Right. Now, my cousin that died on the second day of Rosh Hashanah last year was 23. He didn't have eventually. Now, my other uncle that died a few days ago, he also didn't have eventually. He didn't have eventually. He died without doing tshuva. My cousin died without doing tshuva. People die every single day without doing tshuva. They didn't have eventually. Eventually they never got there. So what the roses that you painted for him and the Care Bears you gave him didn't help him because eventually never arrived. So now how do we know we have tomorrow? How do we know we have next week? How do we know that we have all this luxury of time to eventually do tshuva? What makes you think that Hashem is waiting for you? What makes you think? What gives you the right to think that the King of Kings is going to wait for you for when you're ready?
Because we are God's children.
So what? You're going against him.
Oh.
You're going against him when you're going against the Creator.
He's going to give me eventually.
No.
He's saying
He gave you eventually. He gave you 65 years. He gave people 20 years. He gave people 100 years. He gave people eventually. The reason why in the beginning of the Torah, you see that people lived 500 years, 800 years, 900 years, 1,000 years. So the sages ask, how come we only live 120? Later on, Hashem, after the Mabul, after the flood, Hashem decided, that's it, 120 years maximum, that's it, finished. Even though there was a few exceptions to the case, Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov, a few exceptions to the case along the way, but in general, the lifespan of man was changed officially 120. Why? Hashem Yitbarach answered the sages and they said, when I gave them 500 years, 600 years, and 1,000 years, everyone used the same excuse. They said, my cousin lived 900 years. I'm only 300. I'll wait another 500 years. Let me get to 800. Let me get to 800. My last 100 years, I'm tzaddik yesod olam. Last 100 years, I'm going to be good. Why? My cousin lived to 900. Meaning that if Hashem told us already ahead of time, you're going to live 70 years, 100 years, 200 years, whatever you're going to live. If he already told you how much time you're going to live, what are you going to do? You're going to wait till the last minute. The problem is that there's a law in the Torah that Hashem Yitbarach wrote in the Mishnah. In the Mishnah, 6 laws of Mishnah, 6 sections of Mishnah. He wrote one of the laws. What's the law? Someone that says, I'm going to make a sin, and then I'm going to do tshuva. I'm going to make a sin, I'm going to do tshuva. I'm going to go to the casino this weekend, and then I'm going to do tshuva on Monday. I'm going to go eat pork, and then I'm going to do tshuva on Monday. I'm going to go out with the guy just one time. One time I'm going to take care of business. One time with this girl, and then I'm going to do tshuva. Hashem says, just for saying that, for the chutzpah that you're making the King of Kings, wait for your tshuva. You're making a sin, knowing you're making a sin, just to do tshuva. You know that you're going to make a sin to make tshuva. For that, what's the punishment? Punishment is you're not going to live to see tshuva. That's the punishment. That's it. Do you understand what's happening here? This is not a joke. This is not a joke. Once you know, you need to do. Now, I'm not saying, and Hashem is not saying, that tomorrow you have to become Rabbi Akiva. I'm not saying that tomorrow you don't know everything yet. You don't know everything yet to be like Rabbi Akiva. You don't know everything to do everything yet. But whatever you know, you got to do. Shabbat you know, you got to do. Kosher you know, you got to do. You have whatever you know, you got to do. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. If you have an employee, I had 135 employees over my career. A lot of people worked for me. Now, I didn't expect them to all be like me overnight. I trained a bunch of them and I told them, listen, if you work for me, if within a couple of years you're not making $400,000, you're wasting your time, go become a teacher. Why? It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the headache. To make what, $100,000? Go work somewhere else. If you're not making $400,000 within a couple of years, go work somewhere else. That's what I would tell them. Now, I didn't expect them to become $400,000 producers in a year or in 2 months. I would tell them, listen, you have to get there. Whatever you can do now, do now. Whatever you can do tomorrow, do tomorrow. But at least try your best when you go to work, do you try your best or you just sit there, do nothing? If somebody told you, I know some of us do nothing all day, but if somebody told you, listen, you got $1 million on the table, just move a little bit. You gonna move? You're gonna move. If somebody told you you have $1 million on the table, make an extra 5 phone calls today. You gonna move or not? Somebody told you you have $1 billion to make phone calls every single day from morning to night. You gonna do it or not? Somebody told you you have eternity of $1 billion every second. What are you gonna do? Anything he says. Anything he says. That's Olam Haba, my friends. That's Olam Haba, where if you take all of the good, the Mishnah, same oral Torah says, you take all of the good, that all of the people that ever lived, you combine it in 1 second, one rega, combine all of the good that everybody ever had, whether it's from sex, or from money, or from any other type of pleasure that there is in the world. You combine all of the good that ever existed for all of civilization into one rega, one moment. It's not equivalent to one rega for you being in Olam Haba. That's a good part. You understand? It's worth it to do tshuva. You just got to start somewhere. Somewhere. Take Hashem seriously. And Baruch Hashem, listen, Baruch Hashem, brought you some tziyud to start. The most important part of tshuva is learning. Growing the beard, don't grow a beard. The hat, you don't need to put the hat. You don't even have to go to Beit Knesset if you don't want to.
Wait, hold on. You just said the most important tshuva is learning.
Learning.
But it doesn't count if we don't keep Shabbat.
You have to keep Shabbat. You have to keep Shabbat. You have to learn to do. You have to learn how to keep Shabbat. You have to learn to do. So now here's the thing. I have some stuff for you guys for free. This is not for sale. Easy mitzvot. Easy mitzvot. The Baal Habayit, you get some more package. The rest of them will get a little less. Easy mitzvot. You have a Kiruv package that we have. This is a book. This is a book. 1 second.
What the hell is it?
It's a book, it's Torah and Science. This is scientific proofs of God. It's regular scientists. We show what they actually did through science. There's some of the examples that I gave you. And scientific proofs of God, things that are written already in Torah 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, were proven in science here. This is a very, very good book in English. Aside from that, there is a Asher Yatzar prayer. This is very, very special to me. It's in our, we did this. It's a special poster for something that most people don't appreciate. And what is it? The fact that you're able to go to the bathroom without pain. The fact that you're able to go to the bathroom, period. Every time you go to the bathroom, whether it's number 1 or number 2, you thank God for it. Why? Because it says in the blessing, if one of the holes that's supposed to be open is closed, or one of the closings is opened, you wouldn't be able to survive an hour. So at least a moment. At least thank Hashem for it every time you go. You put this poster outside of your bathroom, you make this. It's free. We sell it on the website, but for you guys it's free. Aside from that, you have some CDs. I brought you guys some of my CD, whoever doesn't have it. There's 2 CDs here. Each one has, there's a total of 76 hours worth of Torah here. 76 hours. You put it into your CD player in your car. One is my personal story with a bunch of other things, but there's 76 hours worth of Torah. By the time you finish CD number 1, CD number 2, you're a tzaddik. Okay, you have that. Then you have, if that wasn't enough, we also brought you Rabbi Mizrahi. Rabbi Mizrahi's CD number 1, there's 16 different lectures, also about 30 hours worth of Torah, 16 different lectures, also amazing shurim. By the time you finish this, you're also tzaddik. And then, last but not least, the 2 last things, is you have Torah and Science, which is that movie that I told you guys. You can put it on DVD, watch it as a family. You all have, I'm sure some of you have TV still, or you have a computer. Put this in the DVD player. It's 4 hours of scientific proofs of God. Amazing stuff. It's very, very interesting. You don't have to, we're not monitoring. You don't have to watch it all in one sitting. You can watch it over a week. But the point is, it's very interesting, and it's free. Free is a good price. And last but not least, there's a Kiruv package. Anyone that's interested, just give me your name and address and phone number, and I'll send you a Kiruv package with this book, because I only brought one of these books, so it's very heavy, and a bunch of other CDs. That's this package, which the Baal Habayit will have, has about 12 CDs. Each one has about 30 hours worth of shiurim, meaning you have almost 400 hours worth of Torah here, plus blessings, plus cards, plus this. All these different things that are very, very interesting. And last but not least, you have tzitziot. Tzitziot. Anyone that wants to get a mitzvah. If you don't want any mitzvot, then no problem. But if you want mitzvot, because every mitzvah is worth trillions in Olam Haba. Anyone that wants a mitzvah, every second that they're alive, just put on a tzitzit. How much? Free. Why? Because your mitzvot are much more valuable to me than your money is. Tzitzit, take a tzitzit, put it on 24 hours a day, or at least throughout the whole day. Not at night. The mitzvah of tzitzit is during the day, not at night. But you can put it on 24 hours a day, put the tzitzit on, and that's a mitzvah for every single second that you want. Who's volunteering to put a tzitzit? You have a tzitzit, all right. The ones that already want it, already have it, don't want it. The ones that don't have it, I'm not sure if they want it. Okay, if you want it, if you're embarrassed to accept it, it's over here. And Be'ezrat Hashem, like I said, there's proof, there's Torah. Huh?
Can I accept it even on that?
If you accept it, yes. Right now you do a blessing with me, Be'ezrat Hashem. Try it. Yalla, Jerry. Yalla, Jerry. Yalla, come on, Jerry, come. Come, Jerry, do a blessing. I'll give you a blessing. Yeah, Misha Barach. Yeah, it's scared of mitzvot. No one hero over here, finally. The rest of you guys are still looking.
He's an undercover tzaddik.
Said them. Problems we have, but at least you do tzitzit, I'm good.
I'm afraid to ask it over here because it might be embarrassing to you.
No, it's okay. You can ask anything you want.
Are you
Mish-
sure?
Let me give you a blessing first of all. Misha Barach, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Yivarech et Jerry ben
Israel ben
Israel ben
Yosef Meir.
יוסף מאיר, ייתן לו פרנסה טובה, הצלחה רבה, חיים ארוכים, שלמים, מלאים תורה, מצוות וגמילות חסדים. Okay, no, go ahead, tell me. Not yet. No, tell me what's the problem you have with me or the question.
I have a problem with everything that you gave us tonight.
Seder.
No. It's not about everything. It's not about. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting this. Is that inside and outside?
כן. חזק וברוך, חזק וברוך. Jerry with the tzitzit. Yeah, look at Jerry with the tzitzit, tzaddik. Tzitzit. Oh Hashem. Oh Hashem. So, huh? He's an undercover tzaddik. Jerry with the tzitzit. No, the rest of you. Who's next with the tzitzit? Listen, you don't have to commit to forever. At least you're going to wear it a little bit. No? Who's next? You have a tzitzit on? You have already tzitzit. Who doesn't have a tzitzit? No. Okay, so we have everybody that's tzaddik already. I came to a Haredi lecture over here. I didn't know you guys are Haredim.